guys, welcome to lesson 2. So this is section 1.3 in the book, and it's relating SI and imperial units. So last lesson, we talked about just imperial units, which were inches, feet, yards, and miles, and we learned how to convert back and forth. Now we're going to bring in another type of units called SI. So officially in Canada, we use a system of measurement using what's called SI units, or System International, sometimes referred to as the metric system. So we're going to recall these SI units for length. So these are things we've seen before in previous grades. So we have a centimeter is equal to 10 millimeters. A meter is 100 centimeters. 100 centimeters is 1,000 millimeters. A kilometer is 1,000 meters. So what I always say as far as conversions, say I have 500 centimeters and I want to convert it to millimeters. I say, well, I look at my conversion and I count how many zeros are there. There's 1 0 in the conversion from centimeters to millimeters, so I move my decimal one place. When I'm going from big to small, I move it to the right. Small to big, I move it to the left. So this would be 5,000 millimeters. If I say have, let's say 3,624 meters, and I want to convert it to kilometers. Well, I'm going from small to big, so my decimal is going to move to the left. There, in that conversion from meters to kilometers, there are 3 zeros, so I move it 1, 2, 3 places, and I get 3.624 kilometers. So that's the great thing about the metric system or the SI system, is that it's just a matter of moving the decimal to do your conversions. That's it. So you don't have to do a whole lot of extra math with that. So we're not going to spend a ton of time on that because it's pretty simple and it's something you've done before. What we're going to do is look more at converting from this SI system into the imperial system, so the inches and the feet, yards, and miles. So we will be converting from SI units to the imperial units that we worked with in the last lesson. You may use this table of conversion. Now, it says to use this table. I don't like this table. You have a better table, a more accurate table in your formula sheet that I gave you, which is that purple booklet. For example, here it says 1 inch is 2.5 centimeters. In your booklet, it says 1 inch is 2.54 centimeters, which is much more accurate. Plus, a lot of these conversions, for example, let's see, any of these are not in your booklet, which means you won't be getting them for tests or exams. I don't think this one is in there. I don't think this one is in there. So the problem with those is if you get used to using them on this sheet, you won't have them for a test or an assignment. So I don't want you to get comfortable using them on the sheet. So what I want you to do is actually cross out this table. And when it comes to all these conversions, I want you to use your purple formula booklet that I gave you. It's on the very first page there. It has all the conversions that you'll need. Okay. So let's see where we're at then. So we're going to do some conversions. We're going to use that conversion factor that we used back in lesson 1 to do the same kind of work. So we're going to convert 22 feet to the nearest meter. Okay, so what we do know is that, here it is. All right, so this is your formula booklet. So we can see that 1 foot is equal to 30.48 centimeters. That's what we know. Doesn't exactly give us what we want, but it'll give us a leg up. So we know that 1 foot is equal to 30.48 centimeters. But we want to know to the nearest meter. Great thing is that we can really easily convert this to meters. So if we scroll up, we see that there are 100 centimeters in a meter. So there are 2 zeros. We're going to move our decimal place 2 spots. So 30.48 becomes 0.3048. So 1 foot is 0.3048 meters. Okay. So to use our conversion factor, we start with what we're given, which is 22 feet. We multiply by our conversion factor, which is going to be a fraction. We want to finish in meters. We want to get rid of feet. And we know that 1 foot is 0.3048 meters. So because the non-1 digit, the 0.3048 is in the numerator, we're going to multiply. So we do 22 times 0.3048. And we get 6.7. So it says the nearest meter. So what that means is we're actually going to be able to round a little bit in this case. So it's 6.7 meters, which is approximately, and that's what that squiggly equal sign means, approximately or about 7 meters. Okay, so 22 feet is just about 7 meters, a little bit less than that. So 5 kilometers to the nearest yard. So if we switch over to our formula booklet, I'm going to get rid of this mark that I made. So kilometers and yards, I don't really know, but I do know meters and yards, so we can start with that. Okay, so 1 yard is 0.9144 meters. So 1 yard is 0.9144 meters. So I want to convert that to kilometers. So if I scroll up, if you don't remember, there are 1,000 meters in a kilometer. So that's 3 zeros. So that means I move my decimal 3 places. It's going to be to the left because I'm going from something small to big. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3. I'm going to have to add some zeros that aren't there, and it's 0.0009. So it's a super small number. I'm going to have to fix that up. 0.1239144 kilometers. So that's my conversion factor from yards to kilometers. It's a super small number, but it will work out. So we start with 5 kilometers times our conversion factor. We want to get rid of kilometers. We'll put that in the bottom. We want to finish with yards, so we'll put that on top. So 1 yard is 0.1239144. So we'll put that in our calculator. 5 divided by 0.0009144, and we get 5,468, and we can just leave that there because the 0 here will allow us to keep it the same. So 5,468 yards. So 5 kilometers is about 5,468 yards. Okay, so you can see we're still using that same conversion factor that we were using before. Convert 6 meters to the nearest to feet and the nearest inch. So if you remember back in lesson 1, I said start by converting to feet, and then we'll deal with the decimal. So if we look back at example A, we know that 1 foot is equal to 0.3048 meters. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. We can say 1 foot is equal to 0.3048 meters. Once you figure that out once, you shouldn't have to figure it out a bunch of times after that. So we have 6 meters times, we want to finish in feet, we want to get rid of meters. So it's 1 foot, 3048, and we get that 6. Oh, where did I go? 6 divided by 0.3048. Oh, that's enough. Great. And we get 19.685 6850, and we can stop there. So I'm going to write that down for now. 19.6850 feet. But remember, we don't leave feet like that. This decimal needs to get converted to inches by multiplying by 12. Okay, so 6850.6850 times 12, and we get 8.22, which that we can round for today because it says the nearest inch. So we have the 19 feet that we found in the conversion, and then the 8 inches that we changed that decimal from. Okay, so 6 meters is about 19 feet and 8 inches. D is a little bit tricky too. We are only converting to one thing. We're only converting to centimeters, but we have two things here to deal with: 5 feet, 6 inches. So what we're going to do is we're going to convert this 5 feet to inches, and then we're going to add on that 6 to figure out how many inches in total it is. So 5 feet, we're going to use our conversion factor. We want to keep inches, get rid of feet, 12 inches in a foot, and we end up that 5 feet is 60 inches. So in total, this 5 foot 6 inches is 66 inches. And then we multiply by our conversion factor. So if you check your formula booklet, 1 inch is 2.54 centimeters. So we want centimeters, we want to get rid of inches. So 1 inch is 2.54, and we're multiplying. So let's go back to our calculator. 66 times 2.54, and we get 167.64 centimeters. Okay, and so 5 foot 6 is 167. What it was? 167.64 centimeters. So you can see the process is the same as when we were just dealing with imperial. We've just added a few more conversion rates. So you guys can now go and try some of these book problems. Once you have some time to work on them, I will be posting the solutions online. You can check them out and make sure you're on the right track. And if you have any questions, be sure to let me know. We'll see you guys next lesson.